Well, I just called the White House for the second time in my life to explain that I have no intention on hurting the president and that I would like them to come collect my evidence and then kill me. I need help getting legislature passed so that people like me can have our lives ended. I shouldn't have had to depend on any of these people. The things that happen to me are cruel and unusual punishment, and see, that's the problem with having severe panic attacks and meltdowns when you're abused, is that people take it as predatory. I couldn't handle all the abuse. I gave it back, not nearly as large a quantity, but I did give it back. Between Officer Lolatai and Clearview, I'm never gonna have a chance at a decent life. I'm never gonna have an honest day in court. And Mr. President, my little brother molested his own kid. Please see to it that he gets incarcerated. My older brother is addicted to meth. Try to make programs to help these people get housing first, and then work on treatment, because living on the streets isn't the piece of cake you think it is. Not everybody gets $1 million loan from their daddy. I'm sorry I threatened your life, because although I don't agree with your policies or your politics or many of the things that you had to say, you never harmed me personally. I want Alicia Bollinger to have a decent life where she doesn't have to be afraid. That's what I wanted for Natalie too. I begged for her people to kill me for a whole year before Natalie died over the abuse I was taking. And I was suicidal when Natalie and I became friends. I was still suicidal when I was in Virginia. My safety network had fallen apart. Also, please help to introduce legislature so that people who are accused of heinous crimes can be voluntarily put to death. I didn't stalk Natalie, and there's proof of that, and someone should have collected it. I can't stop my panic attacks. Only positivity can do that. I was a good man until Natalie died. Before that, all the things that I did were justified. Afterwards, it's arguably so. I shouldn't have had to threaten your life to try to force the cops to do their jobs. And the Secret Service are a bunch of idiots. The FBI are a bunch of crooks. I do want my evidence to be collected, however, because somebody might care someday. Somebody might want to take a look. I'm in Virginia, so I'm close enough that I could make a visit to the White House. I just don't see the point. Laura Nelson, you know the truth. I'm sorry that you're gonna have to hurt forever over this. Brandon Ratner, you did a shit ton for me, and I want to thank you for that. Tabby, sell my tools. Get something nice for the kids. Peaches, I love you. You did the best you could. And you're right, even if you had written a report, the media wouldn't take it. It was wrong of me to slander you. I know that you made effort. And although it was about 7 months too late to do any good, and 19 months too late to save Natalie's life, at least you started to understand. Shannon Alvarado, I like you. Even if you're an alcoholic. Brianna Ingersoll, you know the truth, even if you're never gonna tell it. Maybe someday, though. Aunt B, I love you. I wish you would come forward. Dad, you've always been a piece of shit. You'll never be anything except a piece of shit. You should have chosen your children over drugs. Mom, you're a piece of shit. You've always been a piece of shit. You should have chosen your children over drugs. Eric, I love you. Clean your shit up. Michael, I love you despite the things that you've done. Tara, you are and always will be one of my favorite people. You're crazy, but your heart's in the right place. You take after me. Zyler, you're my favorite person, no matter what. There's nobody in my life who has brought more joy to it than you. Not even your mom, not even Natalie. Jamie, when I love you, Jamie. I just love the boy more. Alicia, I never ever intended on hurting you emotionally, and I would never hurt you physically. Because the things that make me scared enough to defend myself, you would have to be there in person to do, and even then you wouldn't do those things. I love you, Alicia, and I'm sorry. Rose, a lot of people died because of your opinions. The word stalker does not apply to me. Well, that's not true. I've stalked Danica ever since that illegal court protection order. Shelley, you're a piece of shit. You're a disgusting person. And even if Kara Johnson Miles pulled the wool over your eyes, you still chose to do wrong. Molly Smith, thank you for being the only person to go in with me to get the police to make a report. That means a lot. Maddie Boa, you and Natalie rescued me when everyone else threw me away. I never forgot that, no matter how angry I was, no matter how pissed off I was. And when I said that I would shoot myself in the head in front of you, or that I wanted to rather, that's because I wasn't dead and you hadn't come forward. I cry every day still. And I'm sorry that you judged without looking at both sides. You were the first person outside the situation to show me that no matter what, I was never going to get an honest day at anything. No matter what, I was never going to get to be heard. I was never going to get to defend myself. Joanna Taylor Smith, you said you would help, and I needed that help. I'm sorry you, me, and Maddie never got to sit down and have coffee. I just needed all the crazy to stop. I showed as much evidence as I could. There's still enough there to go after some bad guys if you can find out where my computer went that the Wyoming police took. I didn't choose to be different. I didn't choose to grow up in the places I did. I never asked for grown men and teenage boys to rape me. I never asked for my parents to choose drugs over me, but you know what? I did right by me the best I could with the information at hand. Now I may think I got it bad, but that's 'cause I didn't grow up in Hardin, Wyoming. That's not necessarily true. If you live in Hardin, Wyoming, I probably know more dead people than you. But you guys did lose a lot of people out there. Brianna Hernandez Cordona, thank you for being good to me. You tried to give me your religion. That's fine. But it's how you treated me before I lost my virginity that really meant the most. I didn't hate you, the idea of messing around with little girls is gross. And you hanging all over me like you did. I wasn't trying to be cruel to you. I was an asshole because it just wasn't appropriate. To Carrie Johnson, I hope you die a horrible and painful death of something that's terribly painful like cancer. Something that's long and drawn out. Fuzzy, you're not a terrible person. And I love you too. Candace, you're the worst friend I ever had, but I still love you. And I understand why you did what you did. Moose, I love you. You're not a terrible person, and I understand why you did what you did. Laura Nelson, you're wonderful. I understand why you did what you did. Be safe. Be your brother's keeper. Look out for those who look out for you.